Hey, hey, good morning. Welcome to Hobby Evolution. Look, my hair's not even, God, I look like, I need a haircut. I look like Doc Brown from Back to the Future. What is up? Good morning. Happy Monday. Not so happy here in the upper Midwest. I think my camera's out of focus now. Oh, what a stretch of 2 days. Yesterday, I went back. There we go. Yesterday, I went back and tracked 7 years of card purchases. That took me like half the day. But I listed like 300 cards in my eBay store. So I hit the 11,000 active listings mark for a brief period of time. I'd fallen short and then I sold a few things and I'd already uploaded like 250 items, but I had to get to that 11th. I wanted to see 11,000 hit my eBay app. So I went back. I ran and got a 6 pack of Spotted Cow because I was like running on a pure adrenaline. This at like 7 o'clock last night. So I ended up adding another like 60 or 70 items to get to that 11,000 just to freaking get there. So, and now I'm back below 11,000 again. And then, and then after doing 7 years of digging through various accounts, adding 300 listings to eBay, I wake up this morning and there's about 4 inches of snow on the ground. It's snowing. The like the last bits of snow, like the ugly snow, the rock pile, like the snow and rock mix on the side of the like where the sun don't shine had basically all melted away. And then it snowed again. God dang it. So enough to fire up the snowblower once again. It's only early March. We're gonna probably get at least one more snowstorm, probably two. It's only March 7th, so we're due for another March storm, and then sometimes we get them in April storm. So here we are. Where was this on like Christmas Day? Like, can I have a mulligan here? Can we rewind and let's dump this snow on Christmas Day or any time in November or December? Man, once March came in like a lamb. I took the dog for a walk every day last week, every freaking day, and now it's snow. What's up, Ed? Good morning. Good morning, Jenny. So I'm just I guess I'm in a salty mood this morning. So I'm gonna talk about. I didn't really have a topic to put in the. I was just gonna say it's a case of the Mondays was what my title was gonna be. Then I'm like, I've got to find something. Like, there's got to be some topic I'm gonna touch on today that'll make a good title. And then I received an eBay message about 5 minutes ago, right before I go, like as I was setting this video up. And I received an eBay message from this particular prospective buyer like 3 or 4 times over the same card. And he kind of gives me the same spiel. And so I want to talk about that. So I guess I don't really have much to say. Oh, so college basketball. And usually this is like, this past weekend is like when I really ramp up watching college hoops. And I actually kind of started a week before last weekend. I started watching a lot of basketball again. Like Friday night, or no, Saturday night, my wife was home and she was working on a bunch of deals. She's in like her super busy time with real estate, so she was on the phone and like I'm like listing cards on the couch. So and she's in the living room too. And like I like to have something on. Like I rarely watch stuff on TV. So like if I have a game, like she's working, she doesn't mind if I have a game on. So I'm like, I'm just gonna find a college basketball game. There wasn't much on like Saturday night, like prime time, because the Duke UNC game had already finished. And that ended up being a blowout. Coach K's. I watched the beginning, which man, I was kind of tearing up watching Coach K at the beginning tear up. And I hate Duke, like everybody, like the rest of America outside of where they at Durham, North Carolina. Um, like if you're not a Duke alumni, you hate Duke basically. So I hate Duke, but I actually wanted to see Coach K win, like his finale. Like you got to respect the guy. I mean, he's like just a great coach. So watch the beginning of that. So so like I wanted to flip a game on like later that night, and I turned on like this is where I'm at in my college basketball fandom. I turned on Boise State versus Colorado State. That's that's where I'm at. I just wanted to watch college basketball at the Division One level. Herman, good morning. What's up, Mark? Good morning to you. So I was watching that. So yesterday I was like so busy with um listing and tax stuff. It's like my wife's like, you really need to get like all of your stuff together for our accountant. And I'm like, ah, I've been like putting it off. I've been procrastinating because, as you know, it's a real pain in the ass, especially for me. With I have to check go back and come up with a starting inventory for my business. I actually uncovered more than I expected. I was able with a paper trail to to prove my expenditures. So I did that, and then I was like in front of a spreadsheet all freaking day, and then I realized like I'd finished that, and I'm like, oh, I think the Badgers play today. Their senior night, regular season finale, and so they were on. It was like halftime had just ended, so it was the start of the second half. Playing Nebraska, close game. I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to go downstairs and turn the game on, and then I can do some. I said yesterday I wasn't going to sleeve cards for my quarter boxes for the show this coming Saturday in Rockford. So I had some like the last of the boxes and binders I had in my car before I sold off the big common lot on Saturday. I had those downstairs, so I'm like, well, I'm just going to pull these, pull the superstars to put in quarter boxes out of these binders. The binders will go in the next common box lot I sell. And so I was sleeving as I was watching the game. And it's like as soon as I turned the game on, I'm like, okay, the Badgers, they're winning. Where's Johnny Davis? Oh, he got hurt. They were playing it over and over. It did not look good, although the reports came out last night. Sounds like it's an ankle sprain, which I was like the way he took a step because the player from Nebraska got ejected because I think he hit Johnny like as Johnny was going up. Johnny Davis from Wisconsin was going up in the air. The Nebraska player like hit him like in the neck area, and then that caused like an ugly crash. So as soon as I saw as soon as I saw it for the first time, it's like that injury didn't happen because it was an ugly crash to the floor, and Johnny kind of landed awkwardly into the base of the hoop. I'm like, that looks like a knee injury. Like that looks like uh when people tear their and I'm certainly no doctor, but I've seen enough basketball and I've seen enough knee injuries, especially in real time working in college basketball. I've seen that type of injury, and it did not look the way he took that step. It did not look good. Uh, but there was a report that his dad was like monitoring the trainer's room. Like afterwards, the trainer said something, and his dad gave a thumbs up, which that was like okay. And so I have the optimism rolling. I'm like, okay, it's not a torn ACL, and I think it came out last night that it's an ankle sprain. So I don't know if he's day to day, if he's going to miss any of the tournament. So and the Badgers lost. They freaking lost, and they played like crap. Like I hate saying a team deserves to lose. Uh, I don't like using the word deserve. But the Badgers should have lost that game. The way they played, like they truly lost that game. And that's not me saying it because I'm a Wisconsin fan and I'm not giving credit to Nebraska. Nebraska played well enough to win, but neither team played well. One team just played not as bad as the other. And the Badgers ended up losing. They had all the opportunities in the world, missed free throws. Like that's all on you as a free throw shooter in those situations. That's on the team that misses and missing like layups, like missing point blank shots, which sometimes point blank shots are the hardest to make. But the Badgers certainly lost that game. Jenny says, congrats on hitting 11K again. Thank you very much. Good luck to you, 5K. That's an awesome, awesome milestone. Rich is with us. Good morning. Jeremy, good morning to you. 70 degrees in the QC on Saturday and snow today. Midwest life is tough. Yes, we didn't hit 70, but we were on the brink of 60 on Saturday, but it like rained all day. So it was, which is kind of like good and bad. Like when it's 60 degrees in March, you want it to be sunny and nice and go outside and play. But it was nice to have rain because we still had snow, like the piles of snow. So when it's warm and it rains, it kind of makes that snow go away faster. So I was actually kind of wanting the rain. What's up, Dan? Dan is with us. They lost to Nebraska. Yeah. So my alma mater, my low major alma mater, Western Illinois, the Leathernecks beat Nebraska this year. Western beat Nebraska early in the season, and Nebraska beats Wisconsin. So what's that called when I can't remember. I used to look this up all the time just for fun. When I was working with a team, it's like, okay, we beat this team beat this team, and so on. So Western beat Nebraska, Nebraska beat Wisconsin. So Western should be a top 10 team. Which is silly, but it's fun. Good morning, recovering from the last Dallas card show, taking my time to get going this morning. Hope it was good. Hope it was fun for you. Big card, a lot of card shows this past weekend. Shaw Cards, my Buckeyes lost to Michigan, disappointment. Man, Michigan's played well. And I forgot Phil Martelli was like their top assistant. So, Juwan Howard suspended the rest of the regular season. In the first game, I see Phil Martelli, and I'm like, oh, oh, he's probably a better coach than Juwan Howard. They're in good hands. Michigan's in good hands, even without their head coach. Well, it's been under 30 here, so I guess I can't be disappointed because we didn't get warm. Bo, I think I found a 1:45 departure flight, but it's just a direct flight. Dan asked, did you talk to the wife? Sounds good. Keep me posted, Herman. Well, it was interesting just doing ComC work and not having any cards to sell. I bet that was a different viewpoint for sure. Took in nearly 25,000 cards. Very nice. That's awesome. So I had an interesting eBay message this morning, right before I went on the air. So I want to talk about honesty and transparency. So when I worked in third-party logistics, one of my like biggest pet peeves, like as I like worked there, and I worked there 7.5 years. So like the first year, you're just kind of getting your feet wet, but then like you develop these relationships and sometimes you don't. But you do these negotiations. It's like, okay, this is my price. Basically take it like this is, and I had some clients where it's like, it's like, okay, I can do this for $1,000. Well, can you do 950? No, I can do 1,000. And I can do 950, but I'm gonna do it for 950, and I may not be able to do it for 950. So like, I don't care if CH Robinson comes in and says they can do it for 900 or 950. This is my price. I know what I can do it for, and you get what you pay for. So if they want to come in and say I can do it for nine, and that's a poor example. Usually it's a bigger monetary difference, but just for the sake of round numbers, they come in, I can do it for 900. Well, guess what? 4 hours later, my customer comes back. Bo, do you still have $1,000 truck? Because theirs fell through. And when they say their truck fell through, they couldn't find a truck for 900 because guess what? The market price is $1,000. And I told them, I'm going to do it for $1,000. I'm not going to say I can do it for 900 because I can't. Like the market is $1,000. So they come back to you and it's like, no, I don't have $1,000 truck. And now it's 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon and trucks have already been booked. So now your price isn't $1,000, it's $1,500. So by trying to save $100, you just cost yourself $500. When you had somebody that's honest and transparent about the current market prices, saying, I can do this right now for $1,000, and you're going to try to save $100, and that's not the market price. Now you just cost your company $500 additional dollars because the market price changes in 4 hours. The other guy let you down. And that's just, and I learned that very early on. Name your price. This is what I can do it for. Don't get in those. And that's why I hate negotiating. Name your price. This is my price. I don't want to freaking negotiate. As a buyer or a seller, I have a price in mind. Sometimes, sometimes you can go, there's some wiggle room in certain instances. But all in all, this is my price. There was a local auction yesterday that ended yesterday, an online auction from where I used to live with cards and stuff. And so I don't get into the eBay game of sniping, and I put my price in, whether it's on eBay or if it's on one of these auctions. And so there was a bunch of lots, and I think I won like 7 lots, mostly 70s common lots. But I put my price in like 2 weeks ago, and these auctions run for like a month. So, I saw 2 weeks to go on the auction. Okay, I run the numbers based on the amount of cards in each lot. This is what I'm willing to pay. I think theirs is pretty cheap. Their buyer's premium is pretty cheap. It's like 12%. Some auction houses are like 20%. So I put my price in and let it ride. And then, so I revisited last night, and just maybe my mindset's a little different. Okay, maybe I can do this. Maybe the market on these cards probably hasn't changed in 2 weeks on 1974 Topps Commons. But just to see, okay, I have a little wiggle room. Let's bid up a couple bucks just to see. So I ended up winning, and I only put in like, I think 2 additional bids last night. I did win a Cubs lot, like a 2,000 count Cubs lot for pretty cheap. Everything else I won was like just random common lots of 70s. I think mostly baseball. I did win one basketball lot, 74, 75 Topps, which is I like that set because I don't have many. I have a lot of like late 70s I probably put them all in the quarter boxes, but I had some late 70s, and those are like really hard to move. So I bought like a 50 count lot of 74, 75 basketball. Anyway, I don't even know how I got on that auction talk. So, honesty and transparency. Before I get to that, I'm gonna go back to the chat. Herman's getting those tickets today. Come see 3B Collection at the Madison Card Show, April 30th. That is awesome. Zach's playing catch up. I may need an early morning drink before I get on. That's fine. It doesn't matter what time of day or night. Airplane beers are cool. Like, I have no shame in a 9 a.m. beer at an airport. It calms the nerves. Now don't follow up a 9 a.m. airport beer with like 3 in-flight drinks and in a post drink. But an airport beer, get prepared for sticker shock because they're expensive. Dan says, drink 3 beers at a bar on the way to your gate. there you go. There's a balance. There's a happy medium. You want to have just enough to calm the nerves, but not enough to like make you woozy, make you nauseous on the flight. So right before I went on, I'm talking about honesty and transparency, because in my previous job, it's like that annoyed me the most was, some of my customers would come back and they're like, oh, well, so-and-so said he can do it for this amount. And I'm like, well, go back to so-and-so and take him up and let's see if you get a truck. And I'm being honest and transparent with my client. It's like, you're not going to bully me into your price. Like, and they may, and it's a negotiating tactic. I get it. And I hate it. And that's why it's like, I just want to be honest, upfront, transparent when doing these deals, because that's how I operate. And I don't want to play games. I'm not a game player. So, don't come back with me. Well, I've got another guy on the line and he can do, and I've used that line, but it's true. Like the lot I sold this week, I had 2 people, like all of a sudden the listing was on Facebook Marketplace for a month, and my 200,000 cards for $250. I had one guy from like the St. Louis area, and I'm like, it's not worth the drive, dude. But he was like super interested. He's like, I can do it maybe my son can drive up tomorrow, but I can do it Saturday. I'm like, okay, I do have, and I legit had another guy, the guy who actually bought it. is interested in Saturday. It's first come, first serve. So if you want to drive up tomorrow or Wednesday, if it's still available and nobody is locally has picked it up or anybody else, but until the money is in my hands, it's still available. I don't hold on these Facebook Marketplace deals. So whoever gives me the cash first gets the cards. So I do when the moment when it's actually true, I do use the line, well, I've got another guy, and it's true. So that guy, the St. Louis guy's like, I found another lot to buy, but I'll be in your area at the end of April. I'm like, okay. If it's still available, hopefully it's not, because I don't want it sitting in my basement for another 6 weeks. So the other guy did buy it on Saturday, and I let him know. I'm like, hey, by the way, this lot, the other guy fell through, so it is still available. We met Saturday, made the deal. I reached out to the other guy from St. Louis. I said, hey, I sold it, but I'll probably have another bulk lot available by the end of April. So I do use that. There's another guy. If there's another guy, I'm going to say it. I'm going to be honest and transparent. Whoever gets to it first wins, wins the deal. So I get an eBay. And the reason I talk about honesty and transparency is because I received an eBay message this morning, like literally 3 minutes before 7. And it's from the same person. And this is probably the third or fourth message he sent me regarding the same card. And I have it for right now, for the current market, it's a little overpriced. But it's overpriced. It's strategically overpriced, and I'll take less for it. And I've told everybody, again, honesty and transparency. I have a low, I have my low, and I'm like, this is where I'm at. This is my price. And so far, everybody's not taking that price, which is okay. I'm not, because we're still in a lockout, and it's still technically the off season of baseball. This is about the time where things start picking up. We're going to see a little slower, and it sounds like things took a step backwards yesterday, which sucks. Really ticked off about that. Anyway, I'm not going to go into that. So the same person he messaged me, and this is like today's message was like, I probably messaged number 4 over the last several months. And I think as I saw his message pop up, it's basically the exact same verbiage as his last email. And when he sent me the last email, I'm like, I'm going to do a second step verification here and check out his profile. And guess what? He's got some items listed for sale. Guess what his message says? I really can't afford much. Can you do $30? I really can't afford any more than that. So I'm like, okay, I remember this guy. So I go to his eBay listings. He's got 55 items for sale. He's got a card listed for $1,000. He's got a card listed for $550. He's got a card listed for $450. And these are like legit cards. These aren't like 1990 Fleer Jose Uribes. There's a $300 listing. There's a $275 listing. There's another $275 listing of the same low serial number card that he's asking about from me. It's a nice Walker Buehler auto, numbered to 50. So all he needs to do is in my card that he's wanting for $30, he doesn't have a card. Let's see. He's got 55 listings, and I don't think he's got a couple cards listed below $30. All of his cards are really nice cards. He just needs to sell one of them. So guess what? He can afford my $50 card. It's listed for $75, and he can get it for he responded to my message. So I responded, you have some really nice cards for sale. So let's see what his response is. I hate liars, and I hate non-transparency. Don't play the game. I'm not playing the games. Be honest, be transparent. Don't be a douchebag. This guy's being a douchebag. So, and hopefully he's not. Well, I don't give a shit if he's watching or not. So let's go back to see. Shit, where's his? I'm trying to navigate my eBay app. Has anybody else had issues with their eBay app? My eBay app's been really slow. Okay, so here's the sob story. So my message, so his message was, hello again, because this is like the 4th message he sent me. Can you please take $30? I really can't afford much more, but truly still want this. It would mean the world. Please, with exclamation points. He's really laying it on thick, ladies and gentlemen. So that's when I went to his eBay store. Wow, he's got some nice cards. So my eBay message, you have some really nice cards listed for sale, period. That was the extent of my message. So his response, I have had to sell my collection, but there is always room for the PC. Would you like to trade? No, no, because you're a freaking liar. You dumb liar. No. And I don't even want to sell you the card at full price because you're a liar. Okay, off my soapbox. I'm going to respond, but I need a minute to I need a zen moment to calm myself so I don't call him a freaking liar in the eBay chat. Bo quote of the year. What's your price that he's offering? 30 on 75. So in my price is a little over, but I think eventually it could get there. But my $50 is my low. Like I'll take 50. And I think I have offers open. I had somebody buy it for 50 and then not pay. That ticked me off. So 50 is my low. It's listed for 75. 50 is my low. And I'm not going to 30 because it's worth more than 30. I think it's 50. Rich says, okay, if I were Mike Summer talking to you, I would explain this is why you send your cards to ComC. There you go. Because you never have to deal with anyone like that again. That's great salesmanship, Rich. I like that. Straight Execution says, block him. That's what I do, and tell him you are blocking him. I don't want to, and so I don't like, and here's where I don't like to be honest and transparent. Sometimes you got to toe that line. It's not honest and transparent by not saying it, but I don't want to be too transparent because you never know who's on the other side of that computer. And because there are some quacks out there that if you tell them I'm going to block you, they're going to create another account and make your life hell as a seller on eBay. So it's best to just, not stoop to their levels. Just, limit the communication. Don't, block them, but don't tell them you're blocking them. I guess that would be my advice. Block them, but not tell them. And really, he hasn't done anything in my eyes as blockable. The only time I block people on eBay is if they leave negative feedback without communication. That's like my biggest pet peeve. If they say an item, they never got an item, and then they leave a negative feedback, but they never messaged me or anything, and then I respond to them, hey, what happened here? And they never respond, like that's an easy block. If it's a scammer, if it's somebody, that's doing shady stuff, if I see, if somebody tweets about an eBay person with like screenshots of the messages, I'm not gonna just go, like Blowout Forums has some like, here's my block list. Like some people are too quick on the block button, whether they're just being soft and or it's a legit, circumstance. So I'm not gonna do that on like no background. But if I see screenshots and this eBay person is doing some shady stuff or like straight up scamming or whatnot, then I'm going to add them to my block list. If you didn't have a bunch of 1K cards listed, then yeah, I could see someone that would say I can't afford much when you take X dollar. Yeah, and I just I don't like that because there are so many instances where people use that as woe is me, and I don't fall into those traps. And sometimes they're not traps, but I see it as like just I'm not gonna play like this is business. Like I'm not I'm very giving, but I don't want to be taken advantage of, and I don't like it when people say, "Oh, woe is me. Can you take this below comp?" Because you can get burned a lot of times doing that. So it's like, no, this is my price. Sorry. I always remind myself there's collectors of all levels, examples, individuals in group homes, etc. Some may do something I see strange, they see normal, but yeah, 1K cards he can afford. Yeah, most definitely. So that's kind of what I want. That original message, well, like the fourth message that he sent me came just before I went on. And I just those types of messages just irk me, annoy me, especially when you go in and they're listing, they've got $10,000 worth of cards in their eBay store, and they're telling me they can't afford $50 or $75. So that's what I wanted to talk about. Today's Monday. I have to freaking snow blow. Ah, darn it. So have a good Monday. Back on tomorrow morning. So have a great Monday, and we'll chat tomorrow.